Hey guys, I'm Lexia. This is another unscripted video, and I'm here today talking with Jess.
Hey.
So normally we do this like weird thing where we've been introing each other with like would you rather questions.
Okay.
So my would you rather question would be, would you rather have spaghetti hair that regrows every night or sweat syrup? Yes.
That's tough, but you know what? I think I would rather, did you say sweat syrup?
Yes.
I think that's my key.
Oh,
I love
okay.
sweets. I love the smell. Oh, syrup, like Cracker Barrel. Oh my gosh. And if it would come out warm, it would come out warm. That's how perspiration.
That's
Oh
true.
my gosh. Well, I could just take it. I'm frugal too. I just take it and put it on my pancakes and probably eat it.
There you go.
It'll all go back in, you know?
Okay.
That's a little
I just
weird,
wouldn't
but-
want to be sticky, but that's a really good idea
Ooh,
actually.
Don't get going with those analogies there. Sticky, my gosh, that's what we want to be. Hallelujah. Tell us.
So my first question is, why do you think we have to be perfect? Like, why do we feel that we have to be perfect in order to share our faith?
You know, I don't think there's anything new under the sun. A guy said that way back in the Bible, a very wise person. And I think it's true. I think for decades and decades, it's kind of been the norm in America that we think we've got to have this presentation of knowing exactly all the answers and all the stuff that somebody might come back to us on. And so we feel, I think, we inhibit ourselves. It's just an instinct thing that whether inadvertently or inadvertently, we've kind of passed it along to others within the church world. And I really don't think that's been where we wanted to go or what we've tried to do, but somehow that's been the message that's been picked up. And so we do. It's a strange thing for sure, but I think many people fall in that category.
Yeah, for sure. So has there ever been a time in your ministry that you've struggled to be like genuine with other people?
You know, as I think about it, I'm sure many times, but for me and the way I'm wired, it may not be as you would think because I have a lot of faults. I've let down people many times. I've maybe not always been who I should be, true to myself, but I feel like I've been genuine. For me, it's more the other end because of the way I'm wired. It's kind of when I've had to have those hard conversations, that last 10% as we talk about around here, you know, that's when I maybe have not been as genuine as I should be.
Yeah.
You know, I kind of go in and I try to code it and kind of go around every angle and everything to try to get to it, and maybe not quite as straightforward and as genuine as I should be.
Yeah.
So for me, it's probably more of that end than it is, you know, the front end of just admitting my faults and hey, this is what you got, take it or leave it.
Yeah, I like that. So how can we tell when people are being authentic? Like, how can we tell when someone wants to be open and honest with us?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I think if there are any benefits to getting old, let me tell you, that's one of them. You kind of gain over time a sense of who people are and where they're coming from. You know, the old saying, it may not be an old saying to you, you probably never heard it before, but an old saying would be the proof is in the pudding.
Yeah.
And so really, if people can live out what they're talking about, and even in little ways, not that they're going to say, I'm going to go accomplish this big old thing, and you wait to see if they do it, but even in the steps to get there, it's the everyday life, and even sitting here talking with you, you know, I can look into your eyes, I can see your smile, see how genuine you are, the heart conveys passion in your speech and the way you talk. And so there's lots of ways to really understand and get down below to see if people really are who they say they are. And granted, in this world, we got a lot of good salesmen making a lot of money trying to win people over and get them to their views and their thoughts. But yeah, you have to be very careful because people can have other motives, selfish motives sometimes, unfortunately, but yeah.
So working off that, like, why do you think it's hard, like, why do we have a hard time sharing Jesus with like our best friends, especially like if we want to be real and close with them? Like, why is it hard?
I think there's multiple things. I think maybe you found it, I know I found it in my life, that sometimes the people who are closest to me are the hardest to communicate or relay the deeper things of my life with. I think for a lot of us, it goes back to the first thing, the thinking we have to be perfect. We have to have everything all right in our lives, not only the presentation we present, but our lives, everything's got to be together. We've got to be the A+ model to show them. And so I think a lot of it, lies within that thinking that isn't necessarily right. or true, and so we kind of back off. I think maybe there's some insecurity there too. I know, at least when I was younger too, I didn't want to alienate friends. I didn't want to go too far, say too much, and so it was a very difficult line to balance and a line to walk. So.
Yeah. So kind of taking more into that, like, how were you able to like overcome that? How can we like learn from that to keep sharing Jesus with other people?
And that's a great thing, and I think that's going to be a challenge for at least many of us. I know it is for me even now. Having been around for many years and knowing what I believe, and even seeing God being faithful time and time again, and actually prove and lead me through situations. So I think life helps. But for the immediate, I think there's also something else, which some friends and I did back in the day, had a close group, I'd say, accountability partners, whatever you want to say, some guys. We were all together, and we basically check in with each other, pray for each other, say, hey, who's in your life? We had the term One Life. We had like, who's your three? Who are those people that you're going after that you need to speak to? And what we would do is we almost have like these special ops and we would go about, not to make them a target or whatever, but as we sensed that God was leading us or opening up doors, we'd actually reinforce each other. We'd encourage each other. Yeah, you can do this. Yeah, take that opportunity. Yeah, say these words. Or we'd come back around and say, oh, I messed that up. I blew that. I said that. No. And they too were friends with them generally too. And so they could come back around, not only reinforce some things, but encourage me or others who were in the group as we tried to really be more faithful in what we feel God was calling us to, and really reasons why we did what we did and why we lived how we lived, the beliefs we had. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So that's all the questions I have today. So thank you for coming. We appreciate it. You had a lot of good wisdom for us. We'll see you guys next week. Check this out. See you later.